morning to all. Myself Ramesh, Assistant Professor, Department of Agriculture, MMDU Mulana Ambala, Haryana. Now we can discuss the renewable energy resources. First we discuss what is the energy. What is the meaning of energy? Energy is the amount of force or power when applied can move one object from one position to the another position. Energy defines the capacity of the physical system to do the work or perform the work. Energy also, it is the capacity of the system. Energy exists in every body, whether they are human being or the animal or the non-living things. Example, water, plants, lights, machine, all things. Energy exists in the several forms such as the heat energy, kinetic or mechanical energy, lights, potential energy, electrical energy are the other form. Energy, if you want to classify the energy, mainly classify into two groups, that is the kinetic energy and the potential energy. Kinetic energy means it is the energy available in the object, things when that is in the motion, and the potential energy, the energy energy available in the system or object when that is in the rest. Energy is intimately related to the power. Energy can have many forms that like kinetic, potential, light, sounds, gravitational, elastic energy, electromagnetic, and nuclear energy. Energy are broadly classified into two main groups, renewable energy and the non-renewable energy sources. We see here the renewable energy resources. Renewable energy is the natural energy, that is also called the flow energy, which does not have a limited supply. Renewable energy can be used again and again and will never run out, means that use infinite times. Renewable is the energy which comes from natural resources such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, and geothermal heat, which are renewable, naturally replenished, and can be generated again and again as and when required. This is also called the sustainable energy resources because this energy is the never end. Renewable energy is an alternative to the fossil fuels and nuclear power and was commonly called alternative energy resources. Renewable energy replaces conventional fuels in four distinct areas. First one, power generation. Second one, hot water or the space heating. Third one is the transport, the fuels, and last one, the ruler off-grid energy services. Main form of the renewable energy resources. This is the wind energy, hydro energy, solar energy, tidal energy, biofuels, and geothermal energy. First we see the wind energy. Wind energy is an indirect form of the solar energy. About the 1% of the total solar radiation that reaches Earth is converted into the wind energy. Wind results from the differential heating of the Earth and its atmosphere by the sun. As the sun hits different part of the Earth at different rates, and air circulates from cold to warm area producing wind. Mainly so, if we see the solar energy, source of all of the renewable resources, just like we see the wind energy. In the wind energy, we see the wind energy. In the wind energy, it's in formation due to the formation of the solar energy. People have been using wind for thousands of the years to pump water, mill grains, power, sailboats, etc. Wind turbine have a rotor that spins as the force of wind rotates it. That rotation operates a generator inside the turbine, which collect and produce the power as the force of the wind 14 km per hour rotates the rotor. Airflow can be used to run wind turbine. In the air, in the moving air, there is the kinetic energy. That kinetic energy strike with the wind blade. That kinetic is converted in the mechanical energy to the wind turbine. A modern wind turbine ranges from the around 600 kilowatt to the 5 megawatt of the rated power. This is the figure of the wind turbine. This is the simply wind turbine. How how air strike with the wind blades, and that wind kinetic energy converted to the mechanical energy. Wind energy in general, wind speed are as follow. They are the favorable condition for the generation of the wind energy with help of the wind turbine. When 8 km per hour, that is the 2 meter per second, the minimum required to start rotating the most small wind turbine. If you want to drive the wind turbine, that is a small capacity, then the wind speed required 2 meter per second. That is the favorable condition. Second one is that 12.6 kilometer per horsepower per hour की बात करें, that is the 3.5 meter per second is the typical cut in the speed when a small turbine start generating power. Last one, the 36 to the 54 kilometer per hour, that is the 10 to 50 meter per second produce maximum generation power. These are three categories of the wind speed required for the three types of the wind turbine. Hydropower. What is the hydropower? Simply, when we use energy in the flowing water to produce the electricity, we call it hydroelectricity. Mainly in the water. In the water, there is the potential energy. If this water flow from high altitude to the low altitude, this water potential energy converted to the kinetic energy. This kinetic energy of the water is used for the generation of the electricity simply. Electric dams trap flowing water, then release it again under the greater pressure. Dams depend on the kinetic energy, which is the energy something passes when it is moving. The bigger the height difference between the upstream and the downstream of water level, that called the head, and the bigger of the water flow through the turbine, the more electricity generated. Hydropower, again, continue. Energy is the water can be harnessed. Energy in water can be harnessed and used since water is about the 800 times denser than the air. Even a slow flowing stream of water or moderate sea swell can yield a considerable amount of the energy. This is the figure of the how work the hydropower plant. These are simply left hand side the reservoir of the water that coming from the intake gate, that called the intake gate. That water flow from the from the dam to the high altitude and going on the turbine blade. The turbine blade convert the kinetic energy of the water in the mechanical energy. This mechanical energy further converted into the electrical energy with the alternating current, AC current with the generator. Solar energy. Solar is the energy derived from the sun through the form of the solar radiation. The sun actually gives the almost all the energy we use. Means the sun is the simply all the renewable energy source. That is the wind energy or the tidal energy, the biomass energy. These are. It provides the energy in two ways. We use the sun energy directly to heat the air or water for use in the home. We use it indirectly by burning the fossil fuel. Millions of years ago, the coal, oil and gas that we burn today were plants and trees. They stored the energy using the process called the photosynthesis. Solar technology are broadly characterized as the either passive solar or the active solar, depending on the way they capture the solar energy, convert and distribute the solar energy. Active solar techniques include the use of the photovoltaic panels and solar thermal collector to harness the energy. Then the second one is the passive solar technique, include orienting a building to the sun, selecting the material with the favorable thermal mass or light dispersing properties, and the designing space that naturally circulate air. This is the two figure of the one is the active solar system. That is solar energy coming on the solar panel. That is for the solar water heating. The second one is the room cooling system. Tidal energy. Tidal energy relies on the flow and ebb of the tides caused by the gravitational pull of the moon. A tidal barrage is a dam which is built across the river estuary or a bay on the coast. The gates are open to allow the tides to flow in and turn the turbines, which turn the generator to produce the electricity. In a day, there in a day twice in a day twice in a day twice time this tide energy available for driving the water turbine. At high tides, the gates are closed and water is held until the tides level outside the gates and dropped. Then the water is released to run through the turbines and turn the generator as it escapes. This is the other tidal energy is the other form of the hydro energy or the water energy. So electricity is the generated by water flowing both in and out of the dam. This is the figure how the tidal stream generator works. Biomass. Biomass is the organic matter produced by the plants, both terrestrial, aquatic, and their derivatives. Biomass can be considered a renewable energy source because plants' life renew and adds to itself. The solar energy, there is a flow chart of the biomass energy. Solar energy coming from the sun, the solar energy absorbed by the plant, the solar energy heat energy converted in the energy by the photosynthesis. In the photosynthesis process, plant converts solar energy. With the help of solar energy, the carbon dioxide, minerals converted into the oxygen and the sugar. This energy is stored in the plants. After that, with the plant and dates are that plants eat by the animals. After that, their waste, plant waste or animal waste, that coming in the form of the biomass. This biomass energy converted in the energy simply. Biomass. What is the biomass? Plant material is a renewable energy source because the energy it contains comes from the sun. Biomass is the simply renewable energy source because the energy it's contained comes from the sun. Energy comes from the sun in the form of the simply heat and light. These heat and light converted into the simply converted into the useful energy by the plant with the help of the photosynthesis. Through the process of photosynthesis, plant capture the sun energy. When the plants are born, they release the sun energy they contain. When the plants are born, this energy of the sun energy contained by the simply burn. In this way, biomass function as a sort of the natural battery for the storing the solar energy. As long as biomass is produced sustainably with only as much used as grown, the battery will last indefinitely. In general, there are two main approaches to using the plants for energy production. That is, the growing plants is specifically for the energy use. Second one is the using the residue from the plant that are used for the other thing. The best approaches for vary from region to region according to the climate, soil, and the geography. This is the simply flow chart of the biomass sources. Biomass, there are the different biomass sources. That is the forestry crops and waste, that is industrial waste, animal waste, municipal waste, solid waste, sewage and slug waste, agriculture and the crops waste. These are the biomass sources. Geothermal energy. If you were dig a big hole straight down into the earth, you would notice the temperature getting warmer the deeper you go. That's because the inside of the earth is the full of heat. This is called the simply geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the heat energy from the earth generated by the decay of the radioactive elements and residual heat from the earth formation 4.5 billion years ago. Hot springs have been used since the Paleolithic time. However, nowadays geothermal energy is the better known for the electricity generation. The geothermal energy can be harnessed where the rocks are hot enough. This initially was at the plate boundaries, as hot rocks tend to much closer to the surface. However, technology improvement in the last 20 years have increased the geographical range so that the electricity generation by the geothermal energy is no longer limited to plate boundary. This is a figure how we extract the geothermal energy below the Earth's surface. Simply from carry away the inside heat for the electricity generator. First, we make the drill in the surface up to the 2 to 3 kilometer downward earth, and inject the cold water. This cold water heated by the within the earth temperature and coming from the hot water, the steam. Then this water supplied for the generation of the steam. This steam further used for the generation of the electricity. This figure shows that heat energy within the Earth's surface. Thank you.